What's up, guys? Doing a little in-car vlog today, and I want to talk about the Geneva International Motor Show. Now, that is this week going on. This video is probably going up on Monday, so Tuesday is a big day for a lot of manufacturers at the show. Now, if you're not familiar with what Geneva is, I would hope so, but it's one of the biggest, best auto shows in the world. If you had to pick one show to ever get to, that's the show to go to. So I want to talk about a few brands, a few cars and everything, and the first car that I want to talk about is a car that I'm sure you guys all have heard a lot of buzz about and a lot of talk about, but it's the new Lamborghini Huracan Performante. Now, yeah, it's a pretty pompous name, but come on, it's Lamborghini. Now, it's really what the Gallardo Superleggera was. This is for the Huracan, so they can't use the Superleggera name because that is a copyrighted name that's not owned by Lamborghini, so they kind of had to phase that out and use the Performante name, which they used, I think, on one or two Gallardos, a 2012 Performante Gallardo. I think 2006 they used it as well. Don't quote me on that, but anyways, so that car is getting a ton of buzz. Now, why is it getting a ton of buzz? Well, A, it's going to be a pretty badass car, but B, its lap time around the Nürburgring. Now, it did a 6 minutes 52.1 seconds, I believe is what it is, which is 5 seconds faster than the 918, the Porsche 918, the hypercar Porsche 918. Whether you guys want to believe that, I want to believe that, make your own judgment. I don't know about that. I know Mike did a video about it, talking about it. He brought up some really good points. Other people have brought up some really good points. I'm not holding judgment until we have a private driver or some other non-manufacturer test that can compare and can run that car. I mean, to go 5 seconds faster than a hypercar that's not that old is mind-blowing enough, but then to do it on the Nürburgring, which is, you know, what, 13 miles, your average speed had to have been a $120, a $130 easily, not to mention that it's a naturally aspirated car, and there's no way that 40 pounds lighter, or even, let's just say 200 pounds lighter, with that horsepower and having just an NA motor, can compete with the hybrid electric and gasoline, you know, powertrain of the 918. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to some sort of motor trend test maybe or something. The Huracan, you know, it has the Semac Vero finally, and it is just going to be a badass car. Probably a lot of Alcantara on the interior, carbon bucket seats or bucket seats. So either way, I'm excited to see the car. It's from everybody who's privately seen it at some VIP events. They've all said it's a phenomenal car. I can't wait to see it. You know, as for the time around the Nürburgring, they can have their claim to fame right now. We'll just wait and see when it gets into some private tests. Another manufacturer that I want to talk about that I think has something up their sleeve, Porsche. Yeah, Porsche. There's been rumors and talks about the famed Cayman GT4. Not just any Cayman GT4, the Cayman GT4 RS. Now, wouldn't that be titties if that car came out and Porsche just dropped the hammer at Geneva? So the Cayman GT4, freaking awesome car, phenomenal car. I actually wanted one. I couldn't get an allotment because I wanted to build one, and then I sold my Gallardo, and before I got my 12C, I was looking at trying to buy a Cayman GT4. I just couldn't get one at MSRP. I shouldn't say under MSRP because they're selling over MSRP now with a couple thousand miles on them. But phenomenal car, tough car to beat for the money. You know, maybe out Z06 money, but it's a Porsche. There's nothing like driving a Porsche. But if you follow me on Instagram, at Troy Sowers, and I apologize if this is your photo, whomever, if you're watching, please message me so I can credit you and do whatever. Somebody made a render of a GT4, and then they put the RS bits that you see on like the GT3. So the front fender, air vents, you see a bigger rear wing support, wider stance, and the car just, oh man, the car just looks fucking awesome. If this car comes out, that car is going to seriously be another game changer for Porsche. I mean, not only was the GT4, the standard Cayman GT4, the car that Porsche never said they would make, and they made it. You know, if this car comes out, then it's going to be I would see it as being a limited car and kick some ass around the track. I'd be really interested to see what it does to the 911 platform with that on by itself. So What transmission? I don't know. Porsche, maybe you'll stick with the manual, but with the RS car, maybe with them wanting it being a crazy track killer, they'll put a PDK in it. Little secret, I love PDK. I'm not a big manual fan. I can drive manual. I love manual. It has its place. But for me, being a tech guru and kind of just a techie guy, I mean, the dual clutch, especially the PDK. Porsche's got, I think, one of it is the best dual clutch transmission out there, outside of maybe the Huracan right now. But the PDK is just a work of art, and I really think that would be a fitting fit in the GT4 RS. Leave the GT4 for the purists, you know, who want that nice, great driving car. Let them have the manual, and then you have the GT4 RS for the just track monster that it'll be. You know, people can have a GT3 RS running around, a GT4 RS, leave that all race car, dual clutch, lightweight, carbon, the works. So Porsche, I hope you show up with this thing. I really, really hope you show up with this car. Third car I want to talk about is, I'm sure you guys have guessed it, is McLaren. I did a video on the McLaren 720S talking about what it is, the spy photos, etc. Again, McLaren outside the spy photos has done a pretty good job keeping us quiet up until about a month ago. Then they started releasing about once a week little teasers of what's it going to be. And I think the latest teaser is a dual dashboard. So it's got a dashboard that sits upright, and then the dash can fold down and display looking straight at you, almost like an F1 kind of steering wheel type look to it. And also then you kind of opens up, I'm assuming, the dashboard a little more to see better visibility. I don't know, might be a gimmick thing, we'll see, but it's cool as hell. I've never seen it in a car before. But that would be sweet for that car to come out and just totally annihilate the Huracan Performante. I mean, you can call me out later on it, but I think the 720, everybody's all, oh my God, the Huracan was so fast and it's a phenomenal car. And I think people are forgetting that the 720S is going to come out and just, in my opinion, obliterate the entire competition. I think McLaren is just, every time McLaren's putting a car out, it's just killing it more and more. I mean, I really, really see the 720S, unfortunately, being kind of expensive, but what do you expect? I see McLaren bringing that out probably mid 300s or low 300s, but here's the little thing with McLaren's is the MSO program, which is a phenomenal program, is a totally bespoke kind of options for your car, which just make the car so expensive. The MSO option bits on a McLaren are very expensive, but they're worth it. They're very well created. The carbon fiber is just perfect, and it helps the value of the car. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens to prices in the McLaren market. I think the 650s, if you look, they're already taking a hit. There's been plenty of 650s that I've seen that have been on the market for a month or two that have now been just dropped 10K, just boom, right off the bat. And the car hasn't even come out yet. The 720 hasn't even come out yet. So I'm excited to see what it does to the prices. The 12C, I don't think the 12C is going to move much. I think the 12C, if anything, may creep up a little bit. I doubt it, but it might creep up a little bit because here's what I think is going to happen. I think people are going to, the 720 is going to come out, and people are going to be like, oh my God, McLaren knows what the hell they're doing. And then they're going to say, I want to get into a McLaren. So the two cars right now that they're going to gravitate to is either going to be the 12C, being the lowest priced car, and I'm speaking of in America because we don't have the 540C in America, but or the 570S or the GT. The GT is, I think, a little more expensive than the 570S, and the 570S has been out longer than the GT. So I think you're going to see those are going to be the two cars that are going to, people are going to be jumping into to really want to get in the McLaren brand. The 650, which the 650's always been kind of stuck in this middle platform, right? You had the 12C, they didn't make many of them, great car, right? Then the 650 came out and just kind of, it's the same car as the 12C, okay? A little more horsepower. To me, it's not worth the $60,000, $70,000 difference for a 12C to a 650. I love the 650, I like the front end, but it just doesn't justifiably make sense to upgrade for me anyways. But then after the 650, right away you had the 675 Coupe and then the 675 LT Spider. And you know, look at the coupes now compared to the Spider. Some people are trying to sell new 650s for, you know, $330, which are fully loaded MSO'd out cars, and you can get a used 675 LT, which is, you know, drop the hammer killer, for, you know, what, $345, $365 for a coupe, not Spider. So I'm curious just to see what the 720, you know, really does. I have no idea the colors. I have no idea if they're going to do a launch edition. McLaren usually does like a launch edition, kind of like Audi does. So I don't know. I really think when it comes down to the Nürburgring times, I would love to see the Huracan Performante and the 720S go at it head-to-head. Look, I don't care if they both lose to a 918. It's a Porsche 918. It's a flipping hypercar. I don't care. But I really, really want to see what the 720 can do with the Huracan Performante. Unfortunately, as much as I love talking about the GT4 RS, I don't think that car is going to be able to keep up with McLaren, especially, but with the Huracan as well. But hey, you know, we'll see. So those are the 3 cars that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I guess I should say 2, because I know 2 of them are going to be there. The Porsche, I don't know. We'll see Porsche. So, you know, Porsche's pretty notorious for hiding like that, and then boom, someone sees a spy photo, boom, and then they confirm it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really good week here with Geneva. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other cars out there. You know, I'm going to keep a good eye on it. Keep an eye on YouTube. You got tons of automotive YouTubers that'll be there, I'm sure, that are going to be talking about all the other cars. But I wanted to get this video out early in the week here so you guys can have something to look forward to. Or maybe you had no idea that the McLaren was going to be revealed. I think that's going to be revealed on Tuesday, March 7th. And this video should be up Monday. So yeah, keep an eye on all sorts of automotive venues. You can follow me on Instagram at Troy Sowers. I'll post when I can on there. And yeah, if you guys like what you see, do me a favor, click the red subscribe button, click the little bell icon so you're notified anytime I upload in the future, and we'll see you guys on the next video.